Hey, this is Dr. Cooper, and I'm coming at you with a DIY techniques segment. In these segments, we are going to be talking about techniques that you can do at home that are quick and easy, that can help you be a little more of that superhero that you want to be. So, if you're already there, awesome. This will help you stay there. If you're not quite there yet, these will get you moving in the right direction. So the first one we're going to talk about today is foam rolling. Often I give patients this as homework, and often I'm met with a blank face saying, foam rolling, what are you talking about? So I'm going to teach you guys what I mean, what is foam rolling, and I'm going to give you just a quick primer on how to foam roll. We're not going to go through big protocols yet, but I want to give a quick overview as to how do I choose a roller, how do I get on a roller, how do I do the rolling, what is this rolling? So let's get started. The first piece of information I'm going to let you in on is that foam rollers come in all kinds of shapes and sizes. Generally they're cylindrical, so that shape is pretty similar. However, there's different textures on the surface, there's different densities of the roller. Soft ones are good for when you begin out, and you kind of surpass those pretty quickly though. So the medium density ones to firmer density you'll have throughout your foam rolling life a little longer. So I like them in the mid-range to a little firmer. First piece of information. The second is, how do I do it? Foam rollers will lay on the ground, you lay on top of the foam roller in whatever body region you're trying to limber up, and you essentially roll back and forth on the piece of foam. The techniques that we're going to show you here in a second are scanning, which is just rolling over body parts to find the hot spots. Now, the hot spots you're going to know when you hit them, and they're going to be uncomfortable, possibly just feel very tight, sometimes they hurt, it just kind of depends on you. But when you find the hot spots, that's when the technique changes a little bit and you slow it down. You can sit on a hot spot and just let it melt away, breathe into it, let it melt away, or you can do little micro pumps where you're doing very short little rolls on the hot spot. You know, if it hurts too much, you can just keep on cruising right through it and just build a little more slowly. So with that little primer, I'm going to show you what it looks like to do a scan, find a hot spot, work on the hot spot, and then continue with the scan. Here we go. All right, we're on the floor. Here we go. I've got my foam roller. This is one I've had for a long time. I tend to like these through tube models with the foam on the outside. They seem to be very resilient. I like the length of this one too. It's not too long, not too short. The long ones are great. You should never fall off of them. But if you're in tight spaces, they're a little tough to deal with. So this is my pick for me. Personal preference though. So let's pick a very common ailment spot. So we're going to go with the back of the scapula. You got your external rotators of your arm are on the back of the shoulder blade here, and those suckers are lit up on all kinds of people. So let's show you a little bit of how to on that specific spot. So you're going to put the body part that you want to mobilize on the roller. So I'll get down, roll out to the shoulder blade, and now that I'm here, I'm going to scan to try and find the hot spot. So I'm going to roll back and forth. I've biased my body so I'm not straight up and down. I've tilted to the side that I'm trying to affect here. And as I roll, say I find a hot spot here. So I'm in the middle of the shoulder blade, and what do I do now? When you find a hot spot, which is one of those spots that hurts a lot, or just feels super tight, you can sit on it like I'm doing, breathe through the pain or the tightness until it relaxes, or you can do short little rolls on it. With the shoulder, you got a lot of options because it's a very mobile joint, so you can bring your arm up and back. You can do circles with it. You can do whatever motions really you want. You can do internal external rotation since we're on the external rotators until you feel it either loosen up or the pain subside. Then we can get back to scanning. So initially we scanned to find the hot spot. Once we found the hot spot, we dealt with it. And now we're going to go back to scanning. See if we can find any more. That is the general outline for how do I use a foam roller. You get on it, you scan around a specific region until you find a spot that doesn't feel so hot. Then you do something about it. Mash it, smash it, move it around, get the tissues wiggling. That's the whole point anyway, is to get tissues that have been stiffened, they've got adhesions within the tissue so they're kind of stuck together, and mobilize them. So you're squishing and kneading the tissues until they free up. That's the whole point. So that's why you're moving around on the roller once you find a hot spot. You're trying to wiggle and squish the tissues until they loosen up. I hope you've learned something, and I hope you've enjoyed this do-it-yourself session. And I look forward to seeing you in future sessions. Thanks.